What is good, everybody? Welcome back to Real Fan Sports. My name is Zach, and I'm here with my co-host, Nonpfixion. What up, Non?
What's good, everybody? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. It's been a while since we've been back on stream.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
Been a little bit. Been on vacation. You know, they have the Hall of Fame game on today. Did you watch any of it? I know it started like 2 hours
I
ago. Did you
pulled it
watch
up
any?
before we I didn't really have a chance to, but I pulled it up right before we kind of got on just to kind of see what was going on, how players were looking.
How's Zach Wilson looking,
it's
man?
it's the Hall of Fame game. You don't expect too much from it. You know what I'm saying?
Not a whole lot to talk about it. If only
Yeah,
it's probably the only preseason game that I normally watch. Like I don't even watch all the Saints preseason games. Like maybe the last couple once you get down to like the final cuts and stuff like that. But the Hall of Fame game, at least you get to see who's getting inducted. I know Cam Thomas got inducted. They showed a video of him meeting with Coach. Oh goodness, what's his name? Cowboys head coach. Goodness, why can't I think of his announcer now? Jimmy.
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson. Yeah, he went ahead and gave him the news, the letter or whatever. So that was really cool. But today we're going to go ahead and we're going to do our tier list for the 2023-2024 NFL quarterbacks. Do you have in mind who you think is going to be the worst and the top dogs this year before we get into it?
Honestly, with what's all been going on today for me, not really.
That's true. You've definitely had some issues today, to say the least. But we're here. We're a couple minutes late, but we're here.
Yeah. We are
here. Well, shoot. Let's go ahead and let's jump on into it then.
No worries. Let's get it, man.
All right. So let's take a look at our list. Let me see. I think I got it all set up, right? Oh, see, of course, every time we do anything, it always jacks it up. Let me fix that real quick. Always. Even though we just did this, right? Like we literally just got it set up, and something had to happen. All right, we're here now. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do this division by division. We'll start off with the NFC South. My division will go in over to Nines, and then it just kind of flips back and forth from there.
Okay.
Starting off number one, we're going to look at Derek Carr. What do you think of Derek?
I mean,
watched him for a long time, man.
Honestly, I like Derek Carr. I'm still a fan of Derek Carr. Like I said before, I think the end of the season for him with the Raiders was more on I still think the coach set him up to fail. Like the more and more I see stuff, the more and more I truly believe that. So I still think he's a top tier quarterback, and I'm hoping he shows that this year. I hope he connects with the players, with the Saints, and he shows it.
Yeah, I know. So far as a Saints fan, keeping up with training camps and stuff like that. So far everything's been good. They have had one bad day of practice so far where the quarterbacks and receivers just were not in sync, but for the most part he's been pretty consistent. I think through camp he's throwing right around 70%. He's had some really good connections with Olave, Rashid Shaheed, as well as Mike Thomas, and AK is back in the wide receiver room and working with the wide receivers a whole lot more, which is great because last year we didn't see him come out the back and catch some balls like we wanted him to. I'm glad that they're actually making a focus on that this year, and I think that's going to help Derek Carr. In most things that I've watched, a lot of people got Derek Carr outside the top 15. I think that's crazy to me. Where do you see him being on this list?
I'm gonna tell you something, man. I think most people will always have him out the top 15 because nobody wants to say that he's good because of how the career has been with the Raiders. Even though he's been some of the best bright parts of the entire career there.
Right.
But I still will put him in just right now. I would put him like in a BC tier. Personally.
That's what I was thinking too. He's not A. He's not top in the charts. He's not top 10. He's not goated, but I think he's in that middle B area for me. I think there's gonna be some guys that you could put ahead of him, but at the same time, I don't think he's a C. I just don't see it. I think this is going to be a big year for him back with DA, with Pete Carmichael.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can make some offensive firepower, and the Saints in a weak division is also going to help his confidence. But what up,
Yes.
Slim? Slim South in the building. So what up, family? What's good, Slim? How you living, brother?
What's good? What's good?
Next up is Baker Mayfield. So, and I got Baker Mayfield here, but I'm going to go ahead and pull up Kyle Trask as well, because both Kyle Trask and Baker Mayfield, who are up for the starting position in Tampa Bay, are struggling from what I've heard. And
yeah, I've heard that too, actually.
And in saying that, it kind of feels like we're going to have our first just big dud on the board with possibly both of these guys. Like, when we talked last year about Baker and how we hoped he was going to do well with Carolina, we thought that, Cleveland did him wrong, and he just really didn't come out with any type of spark, any type of fire. I think it's time for him to, I don't know if hang up the boots is the right way to put it, but just stick with commercials, use his persona. He'll be a great radio person or analyst someday, but playing football, it just doesn't seem like he's there anymore.
See, I understand what you're saying, but I slightly disagree with you. And the reason why is because even though it was against the Raiders, who, like I said from the beginning, were having issues with the quarterback, coach, and just all around, that one game he played with the Rams against the Raiders, he actually looked he looked like what he should have been looking like in Cleveland. That's how
but then he went right back to the same old thing. Not even the very next week.
But I'm saying, but that's also Rams having a terrible team too.
That's fair. That's fair as well. So what? I mean, so what you think? What you think with Baker?
I'm not going to put him.
You're not going to put him in?
I'm not going to put him in the basement. I'm not going to put him there. I'd probably, just for right now, until we decide something else, I'll put him in C.
In C. All right.
Well,
since we're in between, I'm gonna throw him in D, because I do not see him being a C quality quarterback. I just don't see it. I don't see him as just one rank below what Derek Carr is. And then the guy that he's battling for, the former Florida quarterback, I just think we could throw him there. We haven't seen anything of him yet starting in the league, so there's nothing really to go based off of. But the fact that we've heard that Baker's been doing so bad, and then it's not like he's rising up and is like, oh, I want to be a starter in the NFL today. He's not doing those things, so I just don't think we give him a ranking today. That's going to bring us up to Desmond Ridder, the current starting quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. He played last year. They ran a super high, heavy run attack, now adding to it with Bijan Robinson, hoping that Bijan's catching ability is going to help take Desmond Ridder, not to another level, but just allow him to be more confident, get some easy passes. Because the thing is, Desmond Ridder has great wide receivers, and that's the thing that I guess is a struggle for him, because you have a tall wide receiver in Drake London. You have your big time tight end that's supposed to be like all pro, like everybody thinks he's the next big thing at that position. Now you have Bijan Robinson who can catch out the back. Life should be easy for Ridder, but it hasn't been.
I think when it comes to Ridder and the Falcons, they're probably going to build up a really good run game with the pieces they picked up in the draft. I don't know about him. That's the thing. I don't know about him, with how solid he's going to be. But I feel like the run game will probably be there. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean the quarterback's going to be there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just right now, I put him right next. I'd probably put him on that D tier.
Right next to Baker?
Yeah. That's just how it fits,
I kind of feel that way too, and I hope he has a great sophomore year. I hope he comes in this year, and because of the run game, it opens up the pass for him. And the thing is, when that happens and you play that style of offense, you can do very similar to what Ryan Tannehill does with the Tennessee Titans, and just check down passes. You should have good open looks, and you just got to put it in a window, this big instead of this big, and you should be okay. So we'll see how that all plays out. Next up is going to be the rookie, the former Heisman, the number 1 overall pick, Mr. Bryce Young. What do we think of Bryce Young, man?
I think he was good in college, but I mean,
Mm-hmm.
just because you're good in college doesn't mean you translate to being that good in the pros. It's
Right.
one of those situations where I think, like I keep telling you, like I don't think quarterbacks coming out of college should be playing right away. I just don't think they should. I think that's how the easiest way to stunt a player's growth, especially a quarterback, because there's so much pressure on the quarterback, is throwing him into a high pressure position, dealing with people that are older than him that got to listen to him now.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. It's just they haven't earned that respect yet. But
Yeah.
I don't know where to put him though, to be honest.
So like when I'm thinking of Bryce Young, from what I've heard, I was tuning in to Dolph 17 and Coach Rock's show the other night where they had a guest in the Black Cat podcast, which are a bunch of Panthers fans, and the news coming from their camp is that Bryce Young is one of the smartest quarterbacks that they've ever had in their franchise. That he's picked up the playbook. They've already been able to expand on the playbook further than where they thought they'd be at this point because he just gets it. He's a good study. He understands what he's doing. His hardest thing is going to be his physical limitations, which is his height. But we've seen short quarterbacks make it happen before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go and knock him. I don't want to go ahead and throw him up into a high thing, but I think right in the middle at C is where I'd put him, where it's I have good expectations for him. Not great, but again, we haven't seen anything, so we don't really know.
I mean, I understand the off expectation, but I just like because I hadn't seen him, I would just put him on the bottom. But that's just because I haven't seen him play in the pros yet. But I mean, if we go to expectation, okay, I could go with C.
We'll go off expectations for the Rook. Now we'll jump into your division. What you think of Jimmy G, man? Y'all's new starting quarterback. He's the cover of the GQ magazines. Where you got him, man? What's your thoughts?
If they're gonna run a West Coast offense, he'll be fine. If because that's 20 yards here, 15 yards there. That's a little dink and dunk. I don't think because he doesn't throw past 20 yards. He's done it
Yeah.
less than 10 times in his career. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I, but here's the thing:
Yeah.
even though I'm not a big fan of his, when he has played and started with the Niners, they have won.
He's won,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
that's exactly what I was about to say. Even though he might not be the most skilled or talented quarterback, he's a winner.
Yeah.
And winning is what pays the bills. Like I don't care how you win, but if you win, that's a great quality to have. And
Yep.
for Jimmy G, with the West Coast offense thing, that's actually I didn't think about that at first, but with Josh McDaniels, they took that West Coast offense away from Derek Carr last year, and that's why we saw him struggle a lot more. So it'll be interesting to see if they're going to revert back to it, knowing that that's what Jimmy G's specialty is, or are they going to still try to run Josh McDaniels' offense with a running back that doesn't really want to be there at the moment? But besides all that, where do we rank Jimmy G as far as skill coming into this year?
It sucks because in the last 3 years, 3 seasons, you haven't really seen a lot from him. Because he's been injured so much. I I really don't know. I don't because I don't like I we've had this conversation. My expectations for the Raiders this year is very low because of him being injured and players not being happy, players not getting their money. It's a frustration ball, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know as far
Mm-hmm.
as where to put him. What do you think? What are your thoughts? I'll think about some more. But what are your thoughts?
Just because he wins, I can't put him any lower than C. I think skill wise, I mean, and I try not to go based off of injuries, but I think skill wise, he's like high D, low C. But because he wins, I think it puts him at a higher C category. Winning means a lot, and what Jimmy
Yeah.
does, and great coaching in San Francisco, which has made a big, has been a big reason for that. But he
Mm-hmm.
wins, and I can't take that away from him.
I agree with that. I agree. You can't. That's the only thing that kind of gives me some positive hope with him coming in with the Raiders. And then
Mhm.
I know McDaniel's been wanting him for. They wanted him when they first came over there. So
I don't think
hopefully,
McDaniels wanted to get rid of him whenever he was with the Patriots. So yeah,
no, he
this
didn't.
is the guy that he likes. So, and maybe that could work out in his favor as well. They know each other. They have chemistry. He knows and all of his weakness and all of his strengths. So we'll see from there.
Yeah, could be.
This one's easy. We're gonna throw it up there, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Mr. Patrick Mahomes. what an incredible a year for him. I mean, he just
Mm.
continues to blow everybody's mind whenever he steps onto that football field. I mean, you're talking about a guy that people were saying he would be struggle this past year because of losing Tyreek Hill, and he's like, nah, I can go ahead and turn any receiver into a great one, and that's what he did. That's qualities of quarterbacks like Peyton Manning, like Joe Montana, like Tom
Mm.
Brady, like Drew Brees, like this is like Aaron Rodgers. These are the qualities of a superstar, and that's what Patrick Mahomes is.
Oh yeah, I agree. I definitely think Patrick Mahomes is definitely one of the best quarterbacks in the league, especially now when Brady no longer being there, and it's no longer a question of him being there than everybody else, and
Right.
it's actually you can actually have a discussion now and a argument about who's better. But I mean, I think you put him in the right place. So even as a Raiders fan, I can admit he's actually a really good quarterback. So
Mm-hmm.
and he has a great
Right.
coach. So that's a
Yeah,
great
hey,
combination.
true, man. They look like they have fun. I guarantee
Yeah.
all the hate all the hate that like Tyreek Hill has talked to, like especially even the last like month or two. You know, everybody in the sports world is bored right now because not a whole bunch of
Yeah.
people are into baseball, and so they try to make
Yeah.
up drama. Tyreek Hill got on a podcast saying how he wants to be retired in a Miami Dolphins uniform and like was kind of throwing shade at the Chiefs, and it's like you sound stupid. Everybody watches the Chiefs and how they play and how they turn a professional level game into pick up football in the street going light post to light post
Yeah.
with their play style and their play calling. Everybody would want to play there. Like they have fun.
Oh yeah.
You know, so like
Yeah.
he looks silly. It makes himself look bad when he starts talking crazy like that.
And the fact that you say he says he wants to retire in Miami, so you just want to retire with no trophies. That's cool.
That's what it is. Next one up. This is honestly an interesting. These next two are very interesting because Justin Herbert's someone that we ranked really high last year. I still think he has potential to be a great quarterback, but
Mhm.
he has that San Diego now Los Angeles Chargers curse of not being able to win games.
But that's also a negative because of his coaching staff too. I
Yeah,
think that's a big part of that. And of course, they have injuries. They had a lot of injuries that last year. Um, but I think the first time we did it last year, we had him in that top tier, I believe.
yeah, we did. I believe so.
Just to see what he does this year, I would be okay with putting him in A tier.
That's kind of where I was at too. I think he's the first drop. I think he had a lot of hype last year, and we hyped it up as well, and we were I wouldn't say wrong. We just weren't 100% right. He definitely dropped down a little bit. Hopefully, he takes that as a little bit of an edge where he needs to prove himself this year and do
Yeah,
some big
they just
things.
couldn't finish. They couldn't finish. They couldn't finish
No,
games.
a lot of games, man. I mean, and like you said, I mean,
Yeah.
Keenan Allen being hurt, um, Eckler was hurt for a little bit. Um,
Hmm.
Mike Williams was hurt for a bit, so it was constant battles. Not, I'm sorry, guys. I do have to step away for 1 second.
All right. Make sure you mute yourself. I know the next person
Hold on
is
1 second.
Russell Wilson, but as far as like,
Hello, hello.
yeah, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you. Yeah. Okay, you're good now. I can't hear you. But I know, like I said, Russell Wilson is next. To me, I don't care who the coach is. I don't think it's going to turn around immediately and be like, oh, he's the greatest quarterback in the league. No, I don't think so. Even after seeing the comments from the coach, I feel like he's talking to bolster up noise and get attention when it's like you should probably be coming in on the quiet tip because your quarterback hasn't played the greatest, and it's not and it's not just because the team just was losing one part. It was no, they I'd put him BC personally, like low B, high C. That's just me. But I know Zach feels differently because of Sean Payton is there. But yeah, nah, I don't care. Nah, not son. Nah. But what's good, everybody? What's up, Slim? How you doing, brother? Trying to see if anybody else is up in there. But we see. Then if you go to the next QB, I know he was. So we're gonna probably still talk about this again when Zach gets back on. But heading over to the Bills QB. It's I still he's still top tier. He's still top tier. But do we put him goaded? Because I don't know if he's at that level right now. I'm still going to put him at the A, but ahead of Justin Herbert. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. But we'll see. We'll see what let me see. No. Currently on the Hall of Fame game, the Jets are up 16-14. The backup QB for the Browns actually doesn't look that bad. It's very mobile. Number 17, the Dorian. Yeah, he's definitely very mobile. Maybe out there actually being mobile and throwing blocks too. They're 2nd and 6. But yeah, so they get third down, 16-14. With 120 to go in the third quarter. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
I was making sure the mic was coming back on. I haven't had to do that like on the spot yet, so I had to check. All right, sorry, but I'm back now. But yes, so Justin Herbert at the A. Let's go ahead on into Russell Wilson with the new quarterback, Mr. Sean Payton. Do we
I
think
mean,
Russell
coach,
Wilson,
coach.
coach? I'm sorry, new coach Sean Payton. Do we think Russell Wilson is washed? Do we think that his time
I
is
think
up?
he's getting close to it.
Yeah.
Personally,
I mean,
I like it.
The way everyone was blaming Hackett, which the way Sean Payton especially came out of that was insane, just to be that rude towards like a colleague and stuff like that. But I also
Yeah,
understand
I thought so too.
I also understand what Sean Payton was doing is because he knows and hears all the talk that's being said about Russell Wilson. He's trying to turn it around to try and be like, no, y'all don't understand. Hackett really wasn't doing his job, trying to take the blame off of Russell Wilson. But any educated or football watcher can understand a veteran like Russell Wilson should not have had that much offensive struggle for an entire year like he did. I mean, there was a lot of drop passes and things like that, but the fact that at some point in the season, if they would have just scored over 17 points, they would have only lost like 2 games. I think it was by week 10. They would have only lost 2 games if they would have just scored 17 or more points, and offensively they could not do it.
Yes.
Is horrible. It's horrible.
Now, just from watching some of the games, we had to watch so many of them because there were so many on prime time. It
Yep.
wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't like, oh, the game plan just wasn't working. No, that wasn't what it was. He was underthrowing wide open tight ends. He was
Yep.
overthrowing wide open running backs. He was choosing to run,
It
then stopping at the last minute and trying to throw the ball and throwing picks. That's not the coach. That's bad decisions. And then they're gonna say,
right.
I know people are gonna say, "Oh, what's the game plan?" If the receiver is wide open, throw him a damn ball. Let
Right.
him create from the point of
Well,
catch.
because as a Super Bowl winning quarterback, at what point do you say screw the game plan? I'm going to go win this football game. I don't care if the play is designed to be a pass to here. If you throw a touchdown pass to a wide open receiver, or you throw a pass downfield 25 yards and he gets caught, do you think your coach is going to yell and complain? Like, no. And he knows that. He's a vet in this league.
Yeah.
There's a lot of silly mistakes that he made. And in saying that, it puts Russell lower than where I would ever have guessed that I'd be putting him at this point in his career.
You're gonna put him in C.
I'm putting him in C.
Yeah.
I'm putting him in C. I think I'm putting him on top, but I'm putting him in C. Hopefully things will change with Coach Sean, but there's no telling.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's go ahead, head up north to, man, one division that was just owned by the Patriots for so long. And now this year, I think, is going to be a crazy battle for the top spot. Let's start off with the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen. Josh Allen was the guy we had in the GOATed or the elite category last year. But we've started to see some flaws again from Josh Allen. Not huge ones, but enough to draw a little bit of concern. There has been some questions about him. People have even said as crazy as he's not even top 10 anymore, which I think that's outrageous.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
But you know, where we put Josh Allen? He had a tough year. He had a tough year, but they went, I think, 13-3 or 13-4, whatever it was. Record was good, but there was a lot of times where he left a lot of points on the board, especially in big time games.
I think when it comes to Allen, some of the losses directly sit on his shoulders because of some of his decisions that caused the issue. Like when we were watching the playoffs and the receiver was getting mad at him, even though they played off like, oh, he wasn't getting mad at him, he's mad at himself. There were some opportunities in the playoffs where Josh Allen could have became, he could have took that step and became the man for real.
Yes.
And been a top tier quarterback, but he just didn't make those connections. Even though I still like Josh Allen, right now I can't put him in the elite/goated category.
No,
I have to put him in
either.
the A next to Herbert.
Me either. And to be honest, this is a slippery slope for Josh Allen because he, improved year by year, changed his throwing mechanics after his rookie season. Sophomore year, you could almost argue was his best out of all the years, but still slowly improvements. And then he kind of had this drop, and then some things are starting to get exposed about his play, where veteran defenders and good coaches are making him feel uncomfortable. So I'm interested to see how he's going to switch things up and how he's going to deal with that. But I think A is right. I think A is right, and I hope he gets back in that GOATed conversation. This is going to be a tough year for him because like you said, they're already having issues with him and Stephon Diggs. Apparently they talked, made up, had everything good. Josh Allen took full blame for it, and he's like, Stephon Diggs is not in the wrong. I got to step up. So I do appreciate that from him, but we need to get his play back to a high level because the AFC is no joke. It is no joke at all.
Yeah.
And just like I was saying, their division is no joke this year. Last year, it was just Tua, Miami, and we really wasn't even that worried about Miami. This year, we got to worry about Miami, and we also have to worry about the Jets, who's now being their star quarterback being Aaron Rodgers.
I'm not as high on them as you are. So you got them set as like the team to beat in the AFC. I don't.
So, and let me break it down wide, right? I think their team has been built around a bunch of young players that have all bought into the system ran by Coach Saleh. And now bringing in veteran leadership, and out of nowhere, Aaron Rodgers seems happy. Like he's not going at the front office. He's not going at the head coach. He's not talking bad about wide receivers. He's now wanting to work with rookies all of a sudden. He's now cool being coached by whatever whoever his coordinators are and stuff like that. He's not being this arrogant a-hole that he started to become in Green Bay. And they have guys like Garrett. They have a good little running back duo. They have some other wide receivers coming up. Their defense is solid, and that's why I don't think that they're going to be the team to beat. Maybe I kind of played that off a little bit too much in my season predictions thing, but I think this is going to be a very good team by a quarterback that makes very minimal mistakes. Last year, a lot of games they lost was due to the mistakes of Zach Wilson and whoever else played, the white guy and whoever the third name was. His name's White. I can't remember his last name or his first name. But so what do you think about Aaron Rodgers?
I mean, I like Aaron Rodgers. I do. I think he's another quarterback that you can also even say he's not washed. He's not nowhere near that. But
No.
at the same time, there's things about him he needs to change to be a better quarterback. And I know it's crazy to think that from somebody who has as many MVPs as he does.
I mean, he's 2 years. What? Yeah, 2 years removed from MVP. He was MVP in 2022 season.
But at the same time, I still have to go back and think about him losing to the Niners in the playoffs in the snow when they had never won that game. And like that was on him.
On him, 100%. You aren't
That
lying.
was on him. And the fact that we know that he doesn't want to coach young players. What we say right now, this is honeymoon. This is honeymoon. This ain't real. This is all representative.
Yeah.
This is not real. So when people think, "Oh, he's changed," no, he's not changed. He's trying to make himself be like, "This is good. This is good.
This is great.
But
This is nice. Yeah.
but
This
but
the honeymoon stage. Okay. I was.
but
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but old habits they die hard, and he ain't no young cat that's willing to change like that. He
Right.
wants to win, and that's he went there because they have a great young core and have a great young defensive core. That's a good thing. That's a plus.
Mm-hmm.
But do I see him being, coming out there and just over elevating them to the next level? I just
Mm-hmm.
don't. Because we've seen him slightly decline in some situations too, when they had good opportunities to proceed further than what they were doing.
Exactly. So
So
in saying that, I mean, Aaron Rodgers in today's NFL, it's hard not to put him in goaded,
mhm.
but like I also could put him at high A, even though I think we'd get a lot of hate for anyone that sees this, But
Oh, that's fine
at
because
this point,
I'm
I
thinking,
think he's high A. You're
yeah,
thinking lower than A?
and no, I'm saying until
Oh,
he
okay.
proves, and like next season when we do this, okay, and he does really well, I'll give him that next level. But I'm right now he's an A for me. He's not in that.
Yeah.
He's not in there.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not
I
judging
got to
off a
be more
career. We're not
realistic.
judging off a career. We're judging off of last year and what our expectations are for this year. And after last year, he looked rough. Still A. He's still a top five
Yeah,
quarterback, but
yeah.
he's not. But he's not top two anymore. He's not that. Not right now. Next up, Tua. Tua back in action with Miami. Coming off of 3 concussions last year. They maintained Tyreek Hill. I was really hoping they were going to go and grab one of the running backs that are on the market. I'm still surprised they haven't thrown a bag at Dalvin Cook, man. Could you imagine how they would play if they actually integrated a run game with them? Because whenever Tua was out and they ran the ball, they
They
looked
look really
like a
good,
great team. And
and
if
they
you
was
had a
running
good,
two running backs.
yeah, if you had a good number one with Tua and able to run, and then also one maybe that can catch, has a little bit of hands. I don't
Mhm.
know why you don't go and sign Dalvin Cook. Throw the bag at him. This is your chance. This is a tough division this year. It's a tough conference, tougher than ever. Go grab the big money prize and go solidify you a RB1 and light it up with them. What do you think of Tua going into this year?
I like Tua. I hope he can stay healthy. I hope that they can build a scheme around him to protect him better than what they did the past 2 seasons. Because I think one more real hit like that, it's the end of his career.
Mm-hmm.
There's no more after that. But until we get past that hump and he proves that he actually can play and be, in a tough environment, you can't put him higher than a C.
Yeah. Yeah,
just because of
I had him off the top of my head just because he did do some impressive things last year. He also did some things that we kind of expected of like like underthrowing Tyreek, which is
yeah.
first off, we joke about that. That's a really hard thing to do is to overthrow Tyreek Hill. He's so fast. Like learning his
Hmm.
timing is so different because he just has a burst of speed like no other. I mean, the dude realistically could be a all-time track star if he wanted to and just devote his life to
Oh
running
yeah.
track. But yeah, I have him like high C or low B. I kind of want to throw him in the B just because the B is looking a little lonely. Derek Carr needs a friend. You cool? Put him at the throw. We'll throw him at the bottom. Hopefully he stays healthy.
He definitely needs to.
He definitely needs to. Mac Jones. You already know my opinion about Mac Jones, man. I don't think Mac Jones is an NFL quarterback. That's just my blatant opinion. Do I think he's bad? No. But I don't think he's good enough to be an NFL star quarterback. And when you look at the competition in this division, it looks even worse. And, I've heard some news coming out of camp that they said that he's looking really good. But I think that's Patriots and Robert Kraft blowing smoke up everybody's butt.
You're probably right.
What you think about Mac Jones?
I agree with everything you said. I know there were moments where he looked pretty decent, but he always just looks decent. He never looks
Yes,
overly
that's it.
impressive.
And you gotta look great sometimes, even if it's just one game. Like you gotta look
Yeah.
great. I don't I can never
He might
I
have a
can't
couple of
really
downs where he looks really great, but that's about
right.
it. Yeah.
I can't picture a game that I've watched. Now, get me wrong, I haven't watched a whole bunch of Patriots games. I only get to watch every
Yeah.
single game, but I haven't watched one where I
Yeah.
was just like, damn, Mac Jones, that dude might be the real deal. He could be a guy that can run this franchise for several years. I haven't seen
Yeah.
that yet out of him. So in saying that, where do we put Mac Jones?
I don't want to be a jerk and say what's the point because he has played, you know, the D.
I I think he's on top of the D. Yeah. I know that's gonna. Thank God we don't have Mozzie and everybody in here because they would have got me on that one. That was bad. But yeah, I think he's a D tier quarterback. He's so young. He has chances to elevate and stuff like that, but he's got to do it now. And Bill Belichick's gonna keep him on a short leash, and the reason for it, Bill Belichick might be getting his walkout soon too. But
Yeah. Yes. Very true. Very, very
let's
true.
go ahead into the next division. Let's take a look at Joe Burrow and Cincinnati Bengals. Burrow currently dealing with a calf strain. I hope he's okay. I think they said he should be ready for week 1, but he might miss a week or two, I think, at the worst. What do we think of Joe B in his first couple years in the league?
First couple of years, I think he performed really well, better than what people assumed he was going to do, especially with what he had to work with, and especially having a very porous offensive line for most of his existence in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's weird because you see players actually make the playoffs, and they look good for the most part, but nobody has just looked super excellent besides like 2 or 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
it's as much as I do like him, I have to put him. I will put him in the A tier.
You put him there. I gave two. I
Yeah.
gave two of the B earlier, so I'll let you keep the A. I think Joey is probably the only person, and of course, again, I am biased with this. So that's also why I'm gonna follow with you. Being from New Orleans, being an LSU fan, but the things that he does just is crazy impressive to me. How he's like kind of single handedly put that franchise on his back as such a young kid is extremely impressive. I mean, he's working with. He has 2 wide receiver 1s on the team, and let's also act like Tyler Boyd at wide receiver 3 ain't a wide receiver 2 in most teams.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you combo that with Mixon. They don't have oh goodness, the other running back that you had in your fantasy last year. They don't.
My
They,
brain is
yeah, my brain. Yeah, it ain't. I can see his face. But I can't get his
Yeah.
name today. But I think he's excellent. I would personally put him at the goated, but I am cool with high A because he still has to have that big shining moment, man. We need to see him go back deep in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, this is an interesting one, man.
That's
I
probably
gave a
why
lot
we
of
should have
hate
put it as
towards.
elite and not goaded, because goaded means a lot more than just elite.
Yeah, I mean that's true too, but
You know,
we'll rock with it. We'll rock with it. Lamar Jackson, this is an interesting one. They finally got him some weapons. The rookie apparently has been going out of his mind. He's also getting to work alongside with OBJ, who we've already kind of assuming that this will be OBJ's last season. He's came out and said that he's playing like this is his last trip.
yeah.
And Lamar looking to hopefully be healthy. What do we think about Lamar? It's been hard to get a gauge on him because when he's healthy and playing good, he looks like he looks like a top 5 in the league. And I wasn't ready to put him there last year when we did this, but after watching the games they did start, I was just like, man, I was like, this dude he's special,
Oh,
but
he's very
his
special.
injury hurts him. What do you think, man?
And that's what it is. The injury time being away from the games did hurt him. I don't know, man. It's just like the Joey B thing. Like I wouldn't hate them being in the top S tier, the gold tier, the elite tier.
Yeah,
But this performance down the end, especially with him being injured for how many weeks was it? They was injured for?
it was kind of I don't remember. I think he missed. I can look it up. Let me see.
But do we put him in the gold tier / elite tier based on what he was doing before the injury and where we can see him going?
So last year he played. Oh wait, this is the last year's the 2022 season, right? Yes. So last year he played 12 games. He threw 62.3%, little low. Yards 2.2 thousand. Again, I mean he missed 4 games, but that's only averaging about 186.8 yards per game. Now I think one of these numbers is going to be a little screwed because I think he got injured in game, so it's like he had a couple half games. So we'll say we'll give him like 225 average per game. He threw 17 touchdowns and also threw 7 interceptions. So you said A, and I see A too. I see A as him fully healthy, but because of that injury, and I have a tough time. I don't know. I really wanted to put him really high B, but I could see him as a low A player right now with potential of being a goated player, to be honest.
Yes. Yeah. Because this is when we have to include the injuries. We have to include all that because it plays a factor in how not only how they played when they returned, but just how they played in general. Because he was injured to the point where he couldn't even come in for the playoffs. So he had a backup play that game, and one of our greatest moments on Real Fan Sports. What's the worst can happen?
What's the worst that could happen? Oh goodness. Yo, Brad. All right, next up we got Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett played phenomenal in his last, I believe, 4 or 5 games with the Steelers.
Yeah.
Coming into his second year. He, too, has some great wide receivers in both Pickens and DeJounte Johnson. What is your thoughts on Pickens? Because, man, I've had some people talking crazy about Pittsburgh. Like, they're up to win the division this year. And I love Mike Tomlin. And like I said, I like both their receivers, man. Pickens has some of the craziest catches. Like he makes catches crazier than what OBJ has. He had one in practice the other day that I saw on Twitter that like literally had me like jaw dropped. Like it was insane. So, but Pickett coming into his second year and not having a great first year, even though he had a good finish at the end, doesn't make me think that he's a top tier quarterback or that he can be up there fighting with the big dogs. Like I don't even know if I want to put him across the halfway mark, crossing into the top 15.
Yeah, I think that statistically, from what everybody's saying and what you read about the last 6 games of the season, yes, he did look good, But at the same time, Pittsburgh as a whole has not looked good, and I don't know if that has to do with the coaching, just or the group of players that are all together. But for me, if I'm going to put Pickett anywhere, I'm going to put him in a C tier. That's where I would put him.
A C tier. That's what
Because
I'm thinking too.
He got to earn those other two spots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, especially when you're looking at what our tier list right now, it's like you can't put him in the same conversation. Now, some of the car haters probably can, but like you can't put him in the conversation with guys like that. And then like we even thought about putting Lamar there. You can't put him in that conversation. Not into year 2. It's not like he did like what Herbert or Burrow did in their first year. It's not. He didn't do that.
Yeah, no.
He has potential, but he didn't do that to be able to jump in front of so many people. Deshaun Watson, we didn't even give him a ranking last year. But the games that he did play, I know he's not used to playing in the snow, but he looked bad. He looked bad last year. It looked like they shouldn't have started him. They should have kept with the guy you like, Brissett.
They should have stayed with Kobe Brissett. They probably would have made the playoffs.
I think so too.
Because he looked really good playing with them. He was at home. He was comfortable. Had knowledge of all the players because he played with them for quite a while. They should have kept him there. But just going off what we saw, he's just because of the overall talent, you can't put him in D.
No. I think he's, but I do have him low C after last year. I think he's so talented, but I just don't feel like he's in love with football anymore, and it just kind of shows. Because the thing is with snow games, like obviously I've never played in one. I live in Louisiana. I've seen snow like twice, but you have to love football to go out there and have a good game in the snow like that. You have to love it. You got to get gritty, and you just got to embrace all the elements. It didn't look like he loved football no more. And just because he's very talented, I'm not going to put him here, but honest to God, last year, this is what he looked like to me. But he ain't that. He's somewhere in the middle of the pack of C, probably.
Put him in the middle of the C pack. Put him in the middle.
Yeah, that's
for right now, you know?
We'll keep him there for now. Next up, back in the NFC, we're going to look at Dak Prescott with the Dallas Cowboys. No longer has Zeke. They have Pollard. CeeDee Lamb is a crazy wide receiver. He makes Dak look really good because CeeDee can basically that dude's catch radius is insane. Like he can go anywhere to go grab the ball. What do we think about Dak?
Dak Prescott. There's some games he looks like he could be one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and there's many games where he just like you should have kept with the backup. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like sometimes he just looks less than middle pack sometimes.
When I think of Dak, a lot of times he loses games because he loses them. And that's he has the opposite problem of what Jimmy Garoppolo has. Jimmy wins games that he probably shouldn't. Dak loses games that he shouldn't.
He shouldn't.
That he shouldn't lose. And that seems to be a common trend. When, like you said, when he's on, he's on. He looks like a top 10 quarterback every day of the week when he's on. But then he'll go on 2 to 3 weeks where people are wanting Cooper Rush back.
I think when they rushed him back from injury, they should have not done that. They should have let him, because they were doing so well with all their backups. They were actually winning.
The injuries that he's
situation, it's like they're doing too much.
The injuries that he's suffered has messed him up, man, and that's unfortunate because I think he is a highly talented quarterback. But you could tell those injuries. I mean, think about it. The injuries that he's had are not no little ankle sprains, or something like that. They're serious, and it's hard. As much as you love football, and everybody gets injuries and stuff like that, but like to get back on the field and have that subconscious, especially after you get hit once or twice, if your mental isn't in check, that's all you can think about the rest of the time. So Dak, do we think Dak is better than Russell Wilson?
I do.
Then I think I want to put him in the B. Then I think I'm cool with him being in the B. Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl reigning contender, played. He was probably the best player in that Super Bowl. Like,
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes played great. Kelsey played great. Jalen Hurts played phenomenal. His defense fumbled the bag. They were a top defense all year, come to the Super Bowl, and they just couldn't get a stop to save their lives. And Jalen Hurts didn't care, didn't bat an eye, he didn't fold, and that is something that goes to point for Jalen Hurts' mentality and character is he's used to being knocked down. We talked about it last year, getting benched after starting the whole time in Alabama for the national championship, going to the Sooners, coming over to Philly, having some hate after his first year. Man, there was people last year. You remember last year they had people saying that he shouldn't be starting.
Yeah, I remember.
Shouldn't be starting.
He might go to the play. He might go to the Super Bowl. So what are you talking about?
Right. Yeah. If we made any prediction right last year, that was the one. That was the one that we got. That was the one.
And I think because he has shown a lot of maturity over time, you've seen him get better. You see it.
Yes.
So
you see it game by game. Realistically. Game by game, he's looked better. Confidence.
The game has definitely slowed down
great
for him.
Yes, it has. So this is my problem. I want to put him in goated because I really want to put him in goated. The thing is, I think realistically he is A. I don't think he's a better quarterback than Joe Burrow. I think that's the one thing that's kind of getting me beside it. But I think your guys like Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen. I'm not ready to put Herbert there because of his decrease but they're all kind of in the same boat for me as far as talent at quarterback. They saw people putting him in the top 10, like in top 10, not top 5. I think he's the top 5 quarterback all day of the week. Every day of the week, he's top 5.
I do like him. I understand what you're saying about Burrow and him, and that's only because I think Burrow performed sooner than
not really.
Hurts did.
Not really, right? Well, this is Hurts.
He kind of did though.
Is this Hurts? No, this is Hurts. That was Hurts' second year. They both went to a Super Bowl in their second year, and lost the Super Bowl in their second year.
The hype, not the hype that was.
I got you.
Burrow's he built into the hype faster. You know what I'm saying?
Jalen Hurts.
Because nobody expected them to lose that first time. Everybody just said, okay, well, damn. Okay, Joe Montana 2.0.
Right.
They was already putting them up there,
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm cool with it. Some people are going to go crazy. Nate, I already know you're going to go crazy on us, bro. Nate, it's okay. Oh, there he is. Nate, I see him in the building now. I just saw the chat.
Hold on.
Is Zach Carr and B? Come on, Homer. He's C all day. Nate, gotta be real with me, Nate. You gotta be real with me. He's not a C tier. He's not a C tier quarterback. You gotta stop listening to them dang sports shows, Nate. You've got to stop listening to them. Listen to us. Carr is gonna go ahead this year. He's gonna throw for somewhere between 4,700 yards. He's gonna have probably 7 to 8 interceptions. He's gonna have about 26, 25 touchdowns. He's going to hit either MT if he's healthy, and if MT's not healthy, he's going to hit Jawan Johnson or Jimmy Graham, who we just signed again. Even though he's older, he's looked phenomenal at practice. We'll see how long that lasts going into the later part of the season. He's going to hit him every day of the week, just like how he did with Darrell Waller. Now he has a guy like Waller on his team and Jawan Johnson, who has good hands. Obviously not the same caliber, but Jawan Johnson is nasty. He's big, tall, he jumps a lot.
I like him.
And if MT's healthy, it's gonna be a picnic for Derek Carr. It's gonna be a picnic for him this year. Rodgers in B2. You think we were kind of thinking Rodgers was in B as well. We put it there. I mean, it's kind of a legacy thing. It's kind of like how Tom Brady was. Like we couldn't put Tom Brady in a lower tier whenever he last played. Like you just can't, But let's keep it pushing. Giants, Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is a guy I liked a lot last year. Showed a lot of grit. He extended a lot of plays, even though his line gave him no protection. They did re-sign Saquon, so that I'm sure Danny is so excited. But I hope there's no animosity between the two because Danny just got a bag. He ain't getting dimes; he's getting dollar bills, y'all. I wonder if there's going to be a little bit of interference between them two because Danny got paid such a high amount of money because quarterbacks are so valuable in the league right now, even though he's a mid-level quarterback, while Saquon is, still top 10. Last year performed like a top 5, and is scratching for crumbs because of how bad the QB or running back market is right now. What's your thoughts on Daniel Jones?
I like Daniel Jones. And I definitely think he just has pretty good upside. And I don't think that Saquon would be upset of him. I think Saquon would be upset of the system and the ownership because, as we see, that no teams is valuing running backs like they should be.
It's insane. Like, I get the whole. This is, again, we said earlier in the stream, for those that are just tuning in, I've been on vacation. We've been working on a bunch of different other videos and stuff like that, so we've been busy. But that's something that we probably need to have a little debate show with and bring some guys in and talk about that, because it's insane the way that they're treating the market. I understand that it's better to have a young quarterback or a young running back because it's easier to just plug and play them. Like, you have a couple of runs, couple of plays, and it's kind of the same thing. But the fact that you're treating guys that are at the top of their game and top of the league like they're replaceable is insane after signing just 2 contracts. That means if you get into the league at 21, 22, you retired at 28 is how they're trying to picture it right now. Like they're trying to retire running backs at 28 years old,
which is kind of crazy. Because I mean, when you think about with Jacobs, who was wanting to sign a contract, to the fact that him and Max are sitting in the car outside of the building to sign a contract with a pen in his hand, and they didn't call him. That's how much Jacobs wanted to re-sign a new contract. Yep. He was sitting outside the building, waiting for the clock to chime down and didn't call, and they never called. Wait, did we just lose? Did we get booted?
I don't think so. It didn't show that we did. Double check.
Maybe just was it reset or something?
I'm looking. Yeah. We're live right now.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Okay.
My phone had kicked off, and the phones had kicked off like it went like it was off. I was like,
oh, maybe my internet's going out. I don't know. All right, are we back now? Can everybody hear us? Nate, are we in the building?
Yeah.
Are we back live, guys?
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally agree.
So he said everything went weird for a second, but said okay.
It's back. Okay, good. Nate said nestle that boy right up next to Mac. The C population is getting crowded. There are other players in the C that I'd rather.
Next to Max Jones? Are you serious?
Yeah, he's not a D. He's not a D.
He's not D though.
No. He's a C. The C's getting a little crowded, and I think some of this might be needed for a little adjustment. We'll do some adjustments at the end, possibly. But like he's a C. I don't think he's a B. I think he's a C. He extends plays. We'll see. He still hasn't had a number 1 wide receiver like in forever. Like the dude's throwing to Sterling Shepard is his number 1. Sterling Shepard is a number 2 wide receiver on probably 28 teams in the league right now. 28 of
them.
Yeah. So I'm Daniel Jones. Why are you trying to jump the system? Get in your C spot. It happened again?
Oh, goodness gracious.
Is it happening again on your side? It shows we're still live on my side.
No, it shows we're still live.
Receiver on Friday.
Yeah, it shows we're still live.
All right. Are we like talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Back now. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, Nate. Carson Wentz. Now he's a guy that I don't mind snuggling into that D situation over there next to Mackie Mac.
He's somebody. Yeah, there's something going on.
There's something going on.
Because it keeps just to show you, keeps doing. I don't know if you can see it.
That refresh button.
Like it stopped. It keeps the yeah. Okay, let me.
That's weird. I mean, I'm showing in the green as far as my bit rate.
Yeah, when I look at, I'm looking at the studio. The studio says excellent.
Yeah, and I'm only showing 7.5% drop frames. Oh no, okay, it is flashing. All right, let me close some things out.
Do you
See
have
if that.
anything, your game open or anything?
Mm-mm. It
Because
could be.
I'm
It
looking at
could
this.
be. It could be just 'cause I have so much other crap now, which is possible. Let me
It
shut that
does in
down.
the studio, YouTube studio. It says excellent connection. So
Yeah.
let me see stream settings, stream health. It says stream is healthy right now.
Yeah. Pull up my phone. Sorry about the technical issue, guys. I don't know. I bought a couple of new things, but it really shouldn't have made a difference because I just replaced them with the old things. So it's not like I'm running a whole bunch more. I'm trying to
Yeah,
see if my let me look at my CPU, see if my usage is like weird. No, my
but
CPU
as
is
far
pretty.
as Wentz, yeah, we definitely know where he's going.
Oh, okay, okay. I know what I got to do to fix it.
You see
I
something?
can't do it. My RAM is getting overloaded. Is what it is. I just get a couple more RAM sticks.
Interesting.
I'm at like 70%
How much RAM do
usage
you
right
have?
now. 32.
Oh, really? And it shouldn't be overloading.
Well, you got to think I got like with the Streamlabs, that stuff uses a lot of software.
You're using Streamlabs?
Well, not Stream. I'm sorry, Stream Deck, the Stream Deck, the Stream Wave. Now the 4K
Oh,
Cam Link,
yeah.
all that stuff has
I
to be
forgot
used
you
now.
got all
Yeah,
that.
yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. So let's go back. Yeah. So Carson Wentz with the Washington Commanders. Yeah. Yeah. He goes right there in the D spot, man. I mean, I actually got we did those prediction videos, and we got a couple of comments, most of them from Mikey. Appreciate you, Mikey. Thank you for checking out the videos. But I did get some hate on the Washington video telling me that I have no idea what I'm talking about with Washington.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
I've seen that on one of my videos too.
he did have a point on some certain aspects of it. But if you're telling me that you think the Washington Commanders are going to go ahead and run up their division right now, you're out of your mind. You're in a pretty tough division with both Dallas, Eagles, and Giants, who looked really good last year.
Yeah.
I think I only gave them like four wins. Realistically, I think they can get somewhere around 6. But Carson Wentz ain't a great quarterback no more. This ain't 7 years ago. He was getting flashed in and out with Taylor Heineke. Now they got the rookie and Howell, which I don't even know anything about. So obviously it wasn't that relevant of a pickup for me to actually look into and think about. So why would I think that Washington has something to prove? Let's see. Nate says, I see A tier as elite, B tier as franchise. Just don't see Carr as that. Everyone else is okay-ish. And I get what you're saying, Nate, too. I mean, it is an opinion thing. With B where we put him at. I think Derek Carr is extremely underappreciated because of all the chaos that has went down in that Raiders organization. I mean, fans can't stand it. They're so divided on if he's good or if he's bad because no one really knows because the organization has just been, I wouldn't say trash, just miscombobulated for like the last decade.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
you
been
can
bad.
talk
It's
about
been
it.
bad.
Nah, you know more than all of us. Like it's got to be hard to be a Raiders fan to every time something seems like it's going good, all of a sudden either someone doesn't want to get paid or y'all have some type of situation like the John Gruden thing or whatever. It's just been a storm full of bad luck. Next up we got Geno Smith. Geno Smith, what a year for Geno. What a freaking year. What's your thoughts on Geno Smith?
I like Gino, man. I like Gino, and I want to see him do well. I'm glad that the things finally kind of turned around for him, and now he's getting appreciated like he should have been appreciated in the beginning. But like I said, it's the situation where you bring in these young quarterbacks and you force them to play right away when they shouldn't be playing right away. I think there's very rare number of quarterbacks when they come into the league should be playing right away. They need to be learning the game itself, the speed of the game, the nuance of the game. It's different from college. I don't care what nobody say. Pressure at a college game and pressure in a pros is two different types of pressure.
Oh, very
Very
much
different.
so. Very, very much
And
because
so when people be like, "Oh, he was high pressure in college," it's not the same. It's not the same.
is not the same. I mean, you know, well, I don't know. I guess you could argue it both ways, but you know, the thing with college is that you're playing to try and get into the pros, right? And
Hmm.
when you're a guy like Gino in college, and like it was known, you were making it, you were getting in. You know, your pressure is kind of a little bit weaker now. At this point, it's how long am I going to be able to make money in order to provide for myself, my family, my future, and also keep up my competitive spirit and play the game that I've played my whole life.
Hmm.
Gino had a great year last year.
Oh yeah, I think he had a
To be
really
honest,
good year.
Gino is one of those ones where I can't put him behind Russell Wilson because I think he played better than Russ, and like I think
He definitely played better than Russ
I
Wilson.
think he's a B tier quarterback.
Right now, I would put him right there. I'll put him B.
I like B as well.
Yeah,
Um,
because he definitely
Nate
played
said,
that trade. He won out. He was a better deal.
yeah, oh, without a doubt. Nate said, in Saints receiving core isn't that good. It's okay, but a second year banged up old wide receiver too. Kamara, who knows? He's an upgrade on Winston and Ginger Boy for sure. Yeah, no, well, yeah, no, I hear you, Nate. I hear you. I mean, as far as that, MT healthy is still a top 15, possibly top 10. I don't even know if I'd stretch it that far, but he's definitely a top 15 wide receiver in the league when he's healthy. I mean, we saw it when he was healthy. He got a touchdown every single game. Every single game that he was healthy, that he played, he had a touchdown. That's how relevant he is on the team. Like even though he doesn't have a huge route tree like some of our flashy wide receivers like Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs, and you know CeeDee Lamb and guys like that, he just gets the job done. And Olave, I think he's gonna have a really good second year. But you're right, he is only a second year wide receiver, so it's you can't hold him to too high of expectations. My biggest up for him is that he already likes throwing the tight ends, and I think Jawan Johnson and with Jimmy Graham being back there, who was coached with Pete Carmichael. They're going to work together with Juwan to get him to be in a similar role like Graham was used, which I think is going to be great. Nate said, he also said Gino is D playing like a B, so C. I could see that too. Well, possibly I could see that too. Next up, we got the young kid. He's so his name stands by him, Mr. Irrelevant, because when I was looking at these pictures, I'm like, who the hell is that guy? I was like, this dude looks like he's posing for a haircut image at a Supercuts. Like is what I saw. I did not know who this dude was, but this is no other than Brock Purdy. San Francisco 49ers. He got hurt in the playoff game against the Eagles. He had to get Tommy John surgery. He's back healthy, practicing. He's going to be ready to go for week 1.
Oh, is it? He's actually gonna be ready to go.
That's what they're saying. Week 1. Brock Purdy's in town.
I mean,
What do we think of Brock?
I think his first season was an anomaly. To be honest with you,
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know if
Well,
that's
he
gonna be
never-
repeated. You know,
Again, the thing is with him, just like we said about Jimmy, plug and play. San Francisco is plug and play.
yeah, big time plug and play.
They're all. It doesn't matter who's back there for the most part. You just plug them in and you run the same exact offense. You don't need to have a crazy throwing ability to be able to do the things that they do, the style of football that they play. And if anything, his biggest compliment to him, he had great quarterback play, but his biggest compliment to him is actually getting underneath the big lights. I think his first game was against Tom Brady. His parents were only there because they wanted to watch Tom Brady play live.
Yeah, yeah,
And he started
true.
and beat the Bucks.
Yeah.
So where can we put Brock?
That one, yeah. It's like I said, because of his anomaly season, it's hard to say, oh, he just deserves to go.
Yeah,
C
way up
tier,
there.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and that's where I have the
'cause I
confusion.
can't.
It's like he plays so good and won so many games. I don't want to put him at D, but like talent wise, I really think realistically he's a D tier quarterback, maybe low C. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I want to be disrespectful because he won so many games and put him at D, but I can't put him high up on C.
I mean, like I said, I would probably put him C
See,
just for right now because I think it's because it is the Niners, and I think many quarterbacks will do well in that with that situation.
Matthew
So
Stafford and the Rams coming off an injury. He got a Super Bowl. He got a Super Bowl, and he's some dirty clothes that's getting washed right now, and he's just going round and round. He goes. He needs to retire. He got his one. Get him out of here.
I definitely think that he probably should. He probably should retire. It's like, I
Probably
think
should
he probably
retire.
should retire. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
because the one thing that about them is they mortgaged so much to get that Super Bowl that they're not going to be the
Now they're
greatest.
in
They're not going to
trouble.
be.
Yeah. Now they're
Oh
in
yeah,
trouble. They have no run
their
game.
contracts their
Zero.
contracts are going to hurt them for the next 5 seasons.
Yeah, they have
So
nothing. They've been wanting to get a Super Bowl in LA since they moved the Rams to LA. It didn't work the first time, and they finally got it against the Bengals. But yeah, Stafford. I mean,
I
I'm
don't know.
kind of with Nate.
I'll
I
be
think
honest
I
with
have
you.
him.
I don't.
I think I have him over Daniel Jones. You don't? You have him D?
I like he put. What's the point? And I'm like, I kind of agree with that. What's the point? Because I don't see him being great anymore.
You know what? Actually, I agree. I don't think that he's worse than some of these players, but what's the point?
Because that
I
team
agree.
is not going to. Like we said, they gave away so much money to get the Super Bowl. They got Super Bowl. Even the coach has been saying every other game before in last season he was thinking about retiring.
Yep.
So it's like he's threatening retiring. He said it at the end of the
Oh,
season.
you
He
meant
said it in
Brock
the
Purdy.
middle of the season. So I don't know. Say Brock
Um,
over Jones. Oh,
Yeah, that's what I meant to put him at a pop up, so I just left him there. Next up, Kyler Murray.
if
Mr.
this was a Call
Mr.
of Duty
Scamper.
tournament, I put him.
Oh,
I
he's
put
A
him
tier.
in.
He might be goaded.
Put him A tier. But
Man, are we putting him in D after last year and with no wide receiver help this year either? He's got to do it all on his own now.
he's not even playing until what? Isn't he gonna be out for the first couple of weeks,
He might
or
be.
is he fully healthy? I don't think he's supposed to be fully back until like what
You might be
week
right.
4 or
You might be
5,
right.
maybe
I'm
6.
not. I'm not 100% sure. You might be right. You might be right.
Nate says they are rebuilding. They need a QB to keep Cup happy. Cup might be leaving, brother.
Yeah, Cup probably gone. He been seeing the bags they've been handing out to nobody wide receivers or washed up wide receivers. Cup better pack unless they give him a serious bag. He better get the hell on out. That's what he needs to do.
But I mean, if he wants to win another title, he might need to leave. But as far as Kyler,
I like what
Murray,
Nate says. Kyler, A talent, D relievers, D health. That's where I see him. Like,
Yeah.
and it feels bad because he is talented, but D
I wonder if he
is
thinks
really
I
where
should have
I
played baseball.
think about him. I wonder. I bet he does. I bet he
Should have
does.
played baseball.
I bet he does. Jordan Love, Packers. I honestly haven't seen enough of Jordan Love to be able to give an honest opinion off of him. The only thing that I've been able to gather up is based off of what we've been told from people that join us during our streams that are Packers fans that have some trust in him and things like that. But he's kind of sat underneath Aaron Rodgers, and we all know Aaron Rodgers hasn't shown him anything, hasn't wanted to teach him anything. And I still, again, I don't know if he's 100% NFL ready. And with he has some good young wide receivers, but not elite. Where you want
I
to put
don't
him?
know if he's had enough experience to really
Receivers, yeah. Do what you meant, Nate.
be enough. You know what I'm saying? But like we said, there's been so much conversation about him and Kenny Pickett about them being this next evolution of quarterback. It's like, what do y'all see that we don't see?
Where?
I don't
Where?
see
Where?
what they
Where?
see.
Where have you seen that? Someone sent me an article.
I've seen
Someone sent me an article. That's crazy. We really have not even seen Jordan Love play, let alone something like that.
remember when we saw when we was in stream one of the streams and Cheesehead was talking about some of the articles that was coming out out there how they were talking about him. I was like, really? It's like, how do y'all see that? At least Kenny Pickett had like 4 or 5 weeks of good play. Jordan Love hasn't had anything.
Yeah.
So I don't want to put him at what's the point, but because we haven't really seen anything, I would rather put him at the D tier.
Yeah. I'll put him behind Kyler. I think Kyler has more talent, even though he hasn't shown it. I think he has more talent. I'll put him behind Kyler. Justin, what up, Sky? What the F is y'all doing, babies? We are doing a tier list for the quarterbacks. Next up, we have Justin Fields. Justin Fields is going to be a fantasy football god next year. I'm with Nate. I'm full on the ride on the wagon with Nate that he's going to be a fantasy must in like a mid-round quarterback pickup, right? Mm-hmm. But as far as NFL skill goes, he's been talking some big mess lately. I don't know if you saw. He said he's going to have He said he's going to have like a 4,000-yard throwing season. He said it's going to be this year. That's what he came out and said.
Really?
And apparently, I don't know if he's working with a QB coach or what, but he has. I have seen some clips, and he looks like he's throwing a lot better. You know, he's now got a new set of wide receivers. He still has Mooney. He has Chase Claypool, who's staying there. He has DJ Moore from Carolina. So he has some good wide receivers. I still don't know if any of them are number ones, but he's going to have the same trouble that Lamar Jackson has with getting number ones to come and play for him because he is so mobile. Where do you put Justin Fields? What do you think?
Where did we put him last year? Did we put him middle tier or put him at C last year?
I think we put him at C last year. I think we put him at C, but I think we both wanted to kind of put him at D, but we put him at C because we were trying to be nice because he was young.
Yeah. I'm thinking C, but also thinking D at the same time.
I'm in the same boat. I mean, he showed that his mobility is elite. It's elite. It's not like him and Lamar's mobility are different. They're both elite in the same way, though. They're both elite running skill. His decision making is slow. It takes him a long time. I know they said if offensive line was rough last year, but there were moments where he had plenty of time, like I'm talking 5-6 seconds, and still threw interceptions. Now, could that be because he's just been hit so much and he gets nervous after a certain, certain seconds? He has a little ticker in his head, like, oh, I'm gonna get hit soon. I need to get rid of it. I don't know. But I'm not impressed with his throwing ability. I'm not impressed with his ability to read the offense. He's better than Kyler Murray. Is he better than Daniel Jones and Brock Purdy and like these group of cats here in the C?
I mean, so I'm like looking at it like,
I think I want to give him a higher C. I think he has a lot of potential coming in this year, and that's just being honest.
I was curious to see what he's going to do with it.
Yeah, I just haven't seen it yet. That's what I'm saying. I just haven't seen it yet.
Is Nate saying put him in B tier?
Nate saying put him in B.
Or you talking about something else?
Nate's right. No, Nate is all on the Justin Jefferson. I'm sorry, Justin Jefferson. Justin Fields train. He's all on it. He does have combat now too, huh, Nate? I forgot about that. Thank you, Nate. At worst after Jimmy G. Yeah. Okay, we're right in the middle then. Yeah. I really don't think he's D tier. I think, but okay. Moving on, Kirk Cousins. Have you watched the quarterback series on Netflix? Just sidebar.
No, I've seen some clips that you had talked about, but I haven't watched it outright.
Very interesting show. Kirk
Mm-hmm.
Cousins was, even though Patrick Mahomes was the best player on it, I thought Kirk Cousins was the star of like what a good quarterback is in the
Mm-hmm.
league, but not elite. So he gets shit on a lot. Excuse my language. And just like how it mentally affects him. It's actually a really I could cut out all the pieces and just listen to Kirk's story throughout the show, and I would have watched it because it
Yeah,
was that good. It was interesting. Where do you have Kirk Cousins, man? I think he's the most underrated quarterback in the NFL.
he is, but he's also a quarterback. This doesn't finish.
Yeah,
Um, we can put him in the B tier because statistically he's definitely there.
I have him B, and honestly, I think I have him B in front of Carr, just because he's done more than what Carr has done. He's won
Oh
more
yeah,
playoff games, and he might not have been able to close out a Super Bowl, but
he
he's won
definitely
games. He's won football games, man.
the one thing I do accept put him in front of Carr at the same time he actually has a coach that wants to see him win and be successful. So that's a different story. But I do agree.
Bye, Skyler. All the
See you
Fast and
later,
Furious
Skyler.
movies are on Netflix. Oh, that's okay. Cool. So we know what we're binge watching this weekend, then, right? Next up, Jared Goff from the Detroit Lions. Goff had a really good year, even though I think he's a very average to below average quarterback. They are going to get some health back at wide receiver. Amon-Ra St. Brown is looking strong. He's put on some weight during the offseason. He's looking really good. They're getting Jameson Williams, the former first-round pick from Alabama, who was sidelined with an ACL injury. I think he only played like 2, maybe 3 games. They did lose both their running backs, though, but they did trade him out with some nice ones. What you think of? I mean,
It's interesting. It's
I
interesting
think
when you're
Detroit's
seeing
going to do good.
him
Like,
playing. It's weird. Okay, so last season, of course, I had parts of his team in my draft, and there was games where they looked amazing, where they looked like a top tier team, and then there's games where we're like, what happened? You just could have scored like 70 the last game, and this game you can't get 3 points. Like, what's going on right now? Like, what changed? Everybody's healthy. You just play like trash.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened? That's why it's the potential that I thought he had when he first came into the league situation with LA. When I thought he was pretty decent then, don't know what happened with that.
Went out the
But
window.
yeah, but like I said, I might have to put him.
I see Nate saying high
I
C,
probably say
but I'm more like low C. I think they're just coached very well. I think Dan Campbell's a great coach, and I think they capitalize off of having a good dual threat running back system and having some really good wide receivers. I don't think Jared Goff is like. I think Jared Goff could lose his job if they had a solid backup behind him. Is still
you
the way
might
that
be
I
right about
picture him.
that.
It's still the way I
You might be
picture
right
him.
about that. I do picture him in the C tier. Um,
Where
but when
you
I
want to
look
put
at
him?
the
Where you want to
players
put him in
ahead
the
of
middle,
him,
man?
well, I look at the players that we have on C tier. I don't feel like I can put him ahead of those players, so I'd have to put him at the bottom.
That's exactly what I was thinking. He's in the fields, Russ, Jimmy G. You don't know what you're gonna get, but it's gonna be good. I it's I wouldn't say this. I think the difference between Fields, Russ, and Jimmy, or Fields and Russ especially. Russell has had a great career up until last year and the year prior a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Fields is elite in certain things. Jimmy G and him is a very good comparison because I think they're both just average to below average for the most part, but Jimmy G has one more, and that's why I have Jimmy G above him.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of bottom line. We'll go ahead. This is gonna be our last division of starters. We'll run through a couple of the backups just for some fun, but we'll get out of here soon. Trevor Lawrence for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They got Calvin Ridley coming back off his suspension. That dude is going to be a dog with Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
He is going to be fun to
I like
watch.
Trevor
People
Lawrence.
forget that he was the number 1 wide receiver at some point with Atlanta before getting the gambling thing. Is Trevor Lawrence gonna work his way up there in the next year or two of being within that elite five? I think
I
it's possible.
I I think it's possible. And just like what I talked about at the last time when I said I think he's going to have a good season, he actually had a pretty decent season. You know what I'm saying? And they brought over some nice additions for the coaching staff for him to actually be better, be successful.
Hmm.
So I think he's going to have a pretty good season. To be honest with you, I think they're probably going to win that division.
So I think I have him high A. I mean, I'm sorry, high B.
I was thinking B personally.
Yeah, yeah. I got him B. I could see him just because he hasn't won anything yet and put him behind Kirk. But with like potential and everything involved and how he's excelling in the game is
Mm-hmm.
why I got him so high. I know people probably can argue, putting him behind Tua or something like that, but I think he's gonna be good. Ryan Tannehill, man, I feel I
What's
feel
the
like
point?
I feel like I insult every Titans fan. Rossi, I love you, man. I swear. We got to link up soon if you end up seeing this. We got to link up soon. I know I talked to you in Twitter not that long ago. We'll link up. Yeah, it's just what's the point? Again, you know what you're going to get. It ain't going to be great. It's going to be decent. It ain't going to be horrible until it is until they need him. It's going to be horrible when they need him. It's going to be okay when they don't, whenever they can rely on the run. As soon as they need him, it's a fold situation. And the biggest problem over there with the Titans is that with their rookie and Will Levis and the Malik Willis, the second year and the rookie have both been looking really bad in camp from what I've heard. Now that was
Oh, really?
that was more during OTAs, so I haven't heard anything yet since training camp started up. But since OTAs, I've heard they both look bad. So
Oh, well. All right.
So Tannehill's going to be the starter, and that's tough for Tennessee. They're going to have to rely on that run game with Derrick Henry once again. And hopefully with the new acquired DeAndre Hopkins, he'll be able to make Tannehill look good. I mean, Hopkins has done it with other quarterbacks before. He made quarterbacks in Texans look really good for years when they were the worst in the division. He made Kyler Murray look pretty good when he was healthy, and they both were healthy together. But I'm just like, okay, what's the point? I would just look at who's left and decide if N or C are better. I really, yeah, I don't think so. We'll just talk about it and then close it up. So we're gonna stop. Shoot, probably right at Trey Lance. We'll do a couple more. So we got the Texans starting quarterback, which is going to be Mr. C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud's the guy that I thought should have went first overall.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's extremely talented. He's everything that you look in a quarterback. Tall, he's got a really strong arm. He can get mobile. Not exceptionally mobile like, some quarterbacks nowadays, but he can get mobile. He has all the aspects of what an athletic quarterback you'd want and throws the ball pretty well. He's with the Texans this year. Texans actually did really good in the draft. Texans as a whole, I don't think are going to do a whole bunch. Them and the Colts are going to be fighting for that last spot. I mean, what do you think of C.J. Stroud? I mean, they're rookies, so it's hard to judge. But what do you
Yeah, I
think?
mean, it's kind of hard to judge. I mean, the potential is there. I don't trust the Texans personally. It's not even I don't trust the new coaching staff. I don't trust the ownership, and I think from all the things we've heard, and I think that are true how they throw games. I just would like to see them. I want to see him be successful, and I think that the coaching staff they have can help do that, but it won't happen this season.
Yeah, it
I
won't
think they're
happen
gonna.
this
I
season.
think they're gonna struggle for sure. But
I mean, I think realistically, the point of talking about these two rookies is not to try and judge them or put them at a lower tier. It's just to have a conversation about what they can do in the league. Because I mean,
yeah,
realistically, I'm probably throwing both of these guys in the D tier right below Kyler Murray because we don't know yet because NFL and college is so different. The way you run,
very different. The
there's
speed is
no
different.
RPO. The speed is different, and with athletic quarterbacks, that's going to be the biggest challenge coming into the NFL because the offense is very very much different. So, but I think CJ Stroud has a lot of potential. It kind of sucks that he went to
Yeah,
the Texans.
Texans.
I mean, hopefully they'll
Yeah.
do something. I don't know. The next one was Anthony Richardson, which I went ahead and put there. He's the quarterback for the Colts. They
Oh,
have been
Colts.
very impressed by him, man. They've been saying that he is a freak. They said that they've just never seen a specimen like him. Like I think that's actually what they called him, was like a specimen. That he's just so big, so strong. Like, we all know coming out of college, people were worried about some of his decision making, some of his ability to read the offense in an instant. But he was really good. What you think
I think
about the potential of him?
if the Colts were smart, they would just let Gardner Minshew start the season and play the season out, and let Richardson learn the game. Don't force him
Yes.
into the season. That's what they should do. They're already not really trying to pay nobody. So don't let him go in there and get injured because the game's too fast for him. Let him learn behind a veteran quarterback that's actually pretty decent. He's not a bum. He's pretty decent. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, I do like him. I like the potential of him, and I think he has great upside, like we said about Stroud. But just you got to see how they look, though. That's really what it is. Got to see how they look.
Let him develop. And then we'll go through these backups, and what we'll do is we'll just decide if there's even a point. Do they have a chance to steal in the starting spot? And we'll end it with that. Zach Wilson, you ain't starting over Aaron Rodgers. What's the point? Yeah. See you later, bro. Taylor Heineke, now with Atlanta. It's just like I think he could possibly compete, but Taylor Heineke is gonna be the same thing as I'm forgetting his name now, but the beard that played for Buffalo, that played for Miami. Like he'll come in and start a game whenever a quarterback's hurt, and then wait, you might cut out. Say it one more time.
I said if I'm name wise, I can't think of the name, but if I'm the face I'm thinking about, if you're talking about that person, they're not even on the same level.
Oh no, he's not as talented. But I'm saying he's gonna come in and throw. He's gonna come in, throw 1 or 2 good games, and then be a bum again. Desmond Ridder at least is young and has hope, and you just ride with him unless he gets hurt. Trey Lance is probably the most interesting one out of all these down here, because he was a first-round pick.
Yeah.
They tried to do right with him by not starting him right away, and then he still got hurt because they kind of plugged and played him in different packages, and then got hurt again whenever he was supposed to take over in place of Jimmy G. Mm-hmm. Do we think that he's better than Jimmy G? From what we've seen, we haven't seen a lot. Fitzmagic, thank you, Nate. Thank you.
Oh yeah, Fitzpatrick. I don't know if we've seen enough to say that, to give that, that trophy to him, say you're better.
So then we go down.
What we did see, he looked decent. Yeah, I'd have to put him. Do we put him in C tier or do we put him in D tier?
No. So that's the question. Do we see him as being a better option than Purdy? If they're both healthy, both ready to go.
I mean, they're going to run with Purdy if they're both healthy. They're going to run with Purdy.
What's the point? I don't want to insult him by putting him in the D because I think he could be better than some of these guys. I think he's better than Desmond Ridder. I think he's better than Carson Wentz. I think he could be better than Mac Jones possibly. I think he's better than Baker. But what's the point? We don't know. We'll see if he ends up on a different team next year.
And when we say what's the point with this one, we're not saying that he's not worthy.
We're not saying that
if both are healthy, they're going to run. Yeah, they're going to run with Brock Purdy if they're both healthy. We already know that's what's going to happen. They already said that last year, and they're going to do that. They're definitely going to do that.
I believe they've already said it for this year too. So, Sam Darnold, this is another guy that's a backup for San Francisco. Will Levis, a guy that's struggling with Tannehill. I'll put him ahead of Tannehill on the what's point, just because I think I would like to see him play. I'd like to see him pay. They need to move on. They need to move on from Tannehill. They need to move on from him. And then I think all these can just get dragged to the what's the point. I mean, you got the starter from last year, Davis Mills. We got Hendon Hooker, the rookie that's coming up. He's the guy that will be backing up Jared Goff. I actually liked him in college. I hope he can elevate. He's a little. You think he's gonna end up starting?
He's gonna end up start playing that. He's gonna end up starting. Watch.
I would like to see it. I liked Hendon Hooker play, bro. He was good. He was damn good.
I liked him.
He was damn good in college. Damn good in college. But I think that pretty much wraps this up, man. I mean,
and then it's weird because with Ryan Tannehill, just put in Malik. Just put in Malik.
Just put him in Malik. Yeah, right.
Just put him
Right.
in Malik. Yeah.
They don't even have they didn't even have Malik on this board, which I was kind of
Yeah.
interested by. I was like, where's he at?
I mean,
Because
he's
he
technically
did
the second string quarterback there, so that's
right.
yeah. I'd put him. Just put him Malik. That's your best option.
Yeah,
Gives you
Nate,
an actual
not
dual
even putting
threat
him
at
on
the
the chart,
QB.
man.
He's actually a dual threat at the QB position. So
Yeah.
what do you
I
say?
think so
Can you
too.
leave Dalton down the bottom? Not ever put him in the chart.
We're leaving a couple of them down there. We're leaving a couple of them down there. But yeah, man. I mean, this is it's an interesting list. It's not perfect. You know, the people I'm most excited to see this year, I am most excited to see Justin Fields as far as like what quarterback that I think is going to elevate their game or has potential to elevate their game. I think it is Justin Fields. I think he's a guy that could jump from the C to a high B depending on how this season plays out. I think Trevor Lawrence is another guy that, depending on how this plays out, he could be jumping into like, I wouldn't say the goated, but like in the elite
That's goated.
category of players.
I give him the A. I give him. I think.
Yeah.
I think potentially with the coaching that they brought in to help actually better his play, I think he can get to the A tier. I definitely think. And then old boy from Chicago, we thought him and Jalen Hurts will progress around the same time. Jalen kind of stepped out ahead a little bit faster, but I still think he's going to be better. Now it's just up to him how far he's really going to go.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that, man. But it's been another good stream. I appreciate you all stopping by. Sorry we haven't been live in quite some time. Like I said, we've been busy, but NFL is technically started today. Preseason started up earlier today, about 3 hours ago, for the Hall of Fame game. We more than likely we won't be doing any preseason games and stuff like that. There's just not a whole lot to talk about it, but we will be here for the regular season. We will be having our teams tier list coming up pretty soon as well. We'll have a live stream set up for that. And I don't think we have anything else like hugely planned. I think we're just kind of rolling with the flow. Waiting for NFL to start really is kind of what we're doing. I got school coming up, so like, getting all settled in with that. I've been getting books and meeting with my counselor and stuff like that. Just trying to get all the life stuff finished up. That way, whenever football starts, we're ready to rock and roll,
Well, like I said, I know I talked to Zach about it, but I haven't really, posted anything about it. Just, I haven't had to take a break from recording because I've been sitting in front of the computer every day of the summer. So I just took the last 4 days and not even got on my computer. I just stayed in another room, talked to my brother, just kind of binge watch some shows and just kind of relaxed because I was feeling very, very exhausted. I was feeling like dumb tired.
Don't get me wrong. Like I went on that vacation the other day, and man, don't get me wrong. Like the vacation itself wasn't like great. Like we didn't really do a whole lot. There was some stressful moments and stuff. I hate when vacations are stressful, but it was definitely nice not to be in front of a computer because just like you, I'm drawn to it. Like when I'm home, I draw to it, whether it's I'm here to play some games or I'm working on a video or I'm editing. It's like, I'm stuck here. Like when I'm home, this little corner
I even
right here,
eat right here because my table is covered in stuff.
Me
like I eat here, so
me too, man. Me too. So I understand that. So it's been nice to actually take a second. And yes, draft Nate. Yes. So. We got to get that set up. I will work on that. I'll work on that this week and this weekend, and then I'll have an update for Monday. We'll have a live stream next week. We'll try to get back to doing at least one live stream a week, even if it's not like for an actual game. If it's just something that we'll just bring up a topic and have a conversation.
What we could do for next week is the team rank one, the team wins rank.
Okay. So we can do that, but I'll have something in the community post. First thing I'll do is I'm gonna go ahead and direct message everyone that played last year, see who wants to play, and then after that I'll go ahead and we'll post something on the community tab for those that would like to join in, and we'll get a list of names, and we'll get it going that way.
And I will have more videos up for the NFL predictions. Soon, like I said, I just took a break and it's like I'm not recording anything, I'm not editing anything.
Hey,
I just said
trust
no.
me, dude. I understand. I understand, man. Trust me.
And then
guys, I did get some new things. Can y'all hear this on stream and tell me how loud it is? Because I think I can adjust the sound. I'm gonna press it. It's gonna be loud. So if you have headphones on, so Non, especially you, I think actually I don't think you can hear it, Don.
okay.
Nate, let me know how loud this is. Oh wait, hold up. Now I gotta open. I closed that damn app out, so I gotta open it back up. Hold up.
What is this? Okay, so that's the.
I think it should be. It should be this. Hello, testing. Sorry, I had to close that out. That was one of the things I think I was causing the buffer. All right, let me see if it works. Oh, nope. Now it's not working at all. All right, well, never mind. We'll test it out next time. I'm still trying to learn how to work this thing. Dude, this thing is so complicated, bro. This thing is so dang complicated. Yeah. My goodness. I was not ready for it. And I don't, because and what makes it even more complicated is because the turn this light off because I'm hot. I'm like sweating. This light's like put off so much heat.
It's still 96 degrees right now, so I'm
yeah, hot, same, bro. I trust me, I understand. It's been miserable down here in the South, man. It's been miserable. Like dude, I park in the back of the parking lot. When I go to work, that way, I'm not in front of other members and stuff. It's probably about a 50-yard walk maybe from back to the front. And when I'm telling you, when I walked into the gym, I'm coming from full AC for like 30-minute drive, full AC, like cold, like I'm cold because I know how hot it's about to be. I walk out from 50 yards and I have sweat dropping down my arms. We've been having heat index in the 120s the last like week and a half. It's been miserable, man.
I feel
ECG, what's good, my guy? But yeah, so I've been trying to learn how to do this stuff, dude. This stuff is so complicated. Like and because I have the banana voice meter thing, I think I can get rid of it now because I'm pretty sure I figured out how to get at least the sound to go different directions. But the voice meter, it has like 10 different options too. So whenever I'm trying to like program everything, I have a drop list of like 15 to 20 different options of where audio can go and can't go. And I'm like, did I press this one yet? I don't think I did. Like maybe I did. I don't know.
I would say the best thing to do is when we did sound and we were kind of putting everything in this category, just have a piece of paper next to you, get a little sticky pad, and stick stuff next to it so you see what goes where, and then you can kind of chart it out and just keep it to the side, so you won't forget it. It makes it a little easier, especially you got the actual small board there, the board.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's honestly, it's really nice, man. It's just learning. It's getting comfortable with using the thing because there's so many endless options you can do with it. So like, to be honest, this was the thing that I was hesitant the most about buying, but I think it's gonna end up being the thing that I am the happiest that I bought because it's just really useful.
Oh, I can't wait to get the new mic and the mixing board. So I can't wait to get that stuff.
Have you seen the new Rode one? Rode's been making a series of mixing boards for streamers.
Yeah,
they're expensive as can be. I would never buy it unless I was filthy rich. But even then, I don't know if I'd buy it because it's that expensive. But dude, the quality of it, dude, it is so. It's so nice. It's so nice.
Well, because right now Rode is killing in the podcast category, so most people are buying their products from Rode. They have
I saw that. I saw that.
Mics so I can definitely see that.
I saw a bunch of Rode and Shure comparisons and stuff like that. The only reason why I went with the Shure is because since I can do the XLR or the micro USB, and their settings is really simple. I was like, I'll rock with it. I like the look of it and the style. Nate says, Nate says, and Josh gonna prove y'all wrong. He be goated MVP season this season. Nate, I hope so because like I don't know if you were here when we talked about it, but that was one thing we kind of stressed is that we think the thing with Josh Allen that worries me is that he was progressing, and then he had a digress, and we hope that it doesn't continue that way. And then that since there's been some locker room issues with him and Stephon Diggs, that needs to be worked out. But like Josh Allen, some of his decision making ability has been worse. I also
Yeah,
it looks
definitely
like they
questionable.
don't want him running the ball as much. It seems like there's been a lot of times where I felt like, oh, he had a hole. Like, why didn't he go? That he would have done it a year or two ago, but he's not doing it now. They're trying to make him a pure passer and let it instead of just letting him be him as a quarterback. So I hope he does. I hope he does. Um,
Oh yeah, I did too. People,
uh,
just so you guys know, like when we do these, we kind of hope that they prove us wrong. That's really what it is. Like we do these in courses to general conversation, but prove us wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we're just your regular Sunday armchair coaches. So prove us wrong. If you prove us right, then it feels like then people have to give us respect because we know what the hell we're talking about. But if
well,
you don't, then it gives you guys something to make fun of.
and again, that's why we call ourselves real fan sports because we are just literally fans. Man, I couldn't coach anything above like U8 probably. Like as far as that goes. If y'all want to know some real knowledge and have some really good backed up answers that aren't just opinions and like eye tests, is because that's basically what we're giving. We're giving an eye test of what we see. Y'all need to go click over to East Coast Gridiron because they do some amazing work to back up
Factual.
what they say. Us,
Yeah.
it's opinion based. We have some fun, we chit chat, we kind of go at each other, we make jokes. They keep it 100, and that's why I really appreciate them. I've learned a lot about football since I've started watching them.
Mm-hmm.
ECG says I do everything digital and I have a 30 channel board for my music. You do music. You do music too, ECG, or you just mean like background sound and stuff like that. I just got the stream deck. I haven't. The only thing I've set up. I have one page for just like my basic like stream stuff. Record, stop, pause recording, stream, mute mic, and then like all my volume knobs and stuff for browser, me, all that stuff. But I want to go download some sounds I can kind of throw in during the middle of streams and different things like that. And then I have like one page for like overlays so we can like quickly switch between different spots. He also says, get a Wave XLR and you'll have all digital software easy to learn. So I didn't get the Wave XLR. I am going to get that eventually. I just got the Stream Deck Plus, which has the Wave XLR program compatible. So I use the Wave XLR to do my audio now. I just haven't tuned everything into it yet. Like I did like basic EQ to it. So I haven't like fully like dove deep into figuring out what's gonna sound best for my voice. Nate said, "Is Winston done in the NFL?" I think so, Nate. I think so. I
It
feel
might
bad
be.
for Winston. I mean, it's just unfortunate how last year. I mean, he came in with the Saints. Everyone knows that Sean Payton babysitted him, and that's why he looks so good. Saints fans that don't agree with that, I think, are slightly delusional when it comes down to it. Aaron Airy just subscribed. Appreciate you, Aaron. I believe that puts us at 5,600 now, which is great. Appreciate that. But
Yeah, I think we're at 5603.
him getting hurt, and then trying to play hurt and then getting benched by Andy Dalton because DA just doesn't know how to coach his style of football and Pete Carmichael wasn't ready for it and they killed him. I mean, just to be honest, Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael killed Winston's chances of starting in the NFL again. East Coast said, nope, musician. Nope, music. You are a musician or you're not a musician? My bad. Nate
So we're at
says,
3,604.
yeah, 604. Oh, fire. Nate
Yeah,
says 3 months tomorrow. Crazy. Has it been that long already, Nate? Goodness, man.
that's so crazy.
How are the little runts doing, man? They still screaming, crying, and pooping, or what?
And also, thanks to everybody. Thank you, everybody, watching that Bathurst video. That's our first 100K view video.
Finally broke 100K. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness, I
finally
couldn't
broke
believe it, dude.
100K views. Yeah,
I could have sworn the NRL video would have did it. It got close. I think NRL's at like what 80K now, something like that.
it's at 77 right now. I
It's at
think
77?
after,
Oh, man.
I think what's gonna happen is we're gonna watch Origin next year. We're gonna do the Origins, and it's gonna get another 15,000 views because
And then
this time it got 15,000 views. They don't hit 100K next year.
I think
That's probably
I
what's
think
gonna
what
happen.
what happened too, I think people stopped searching NRL reaction videos because YouTube stopped allowing them, so new ones weren't coming up. So like because we looked at this year because we were going to react to the highlights from this year, and there's only one guy that's posting it, and last year there was hundreds. So and we don't know how he's allowed to do it. Like we're not even going to take the chance and risk getting a strike, especially since we're still working on getting back into good terms. We do need to look into re-upping our monetization and stuff like that soon. That way we can get that back going so our members can use emojis if they would like to. ECG said Stream Deck is good stuff. I have a mini, not as fancy, but all my video stuff goes through there. Oh, that's fire, man. That's fire. Yeah, I've never worked with anything like that, dude. I just to be fair, I got really lucky. I finally sold my car, and I thought I was gonna go underneath on it, and I actually went up on top a good amount more than what I expected. So I was like, I put a certain amount away for something else, and then I was like, yeah, I kind of got this. I said I've been wanting this, don't need it, and then I made the childish decision of just buying what I wanted, so I did. So that's kind of where I'm at. It's like I know it was stupid, it doesn't make sense, but you know what? Screw it. I like it, and I'm hoping to sell some of my other stuff that I'm not using anymore and make a little bit of money back. But it is what it is. That first bathroom review, holy jeez, that's slit. Yeah, Nate, it was crazy. It was good reaction, man. Like I think our quality of reactions have gone up better too. Because when we did that first NRL video, I don't think I had the background yet. I think I was still using that little crappy mic still too.
You might have been.
I know I had the crappy camera. I might have had the regular mic, but I know I had the crappy camera still. Like a quality of our stream and stuff was so much better. I bet it would have hit 100K if the quality was really up there like it is now. ECG says I am a musician. That's why I have all the music. Oh, that's cool, man. What do you play? He says I used to do a lot of music. Oh, okay, cool, man.
That's what's up.
Non used to work. Non, did you ever play any music, like instruments or anything like that, or you just messed with the software stuff and the beat producing?
When I was younger, I learned how to play like the drums and stuff, but besides that, not too much. But I did like you said, worked in radio and did concerts and did music management for a while. So a little bit here and there.
Yeah. I wish I knew how to play an instrument, man. I have no like. I'm the white dude that everybody makes fun of when they're clapping off beat. That's me. I'm right there, and I own it, and I'm proud, and I'm just like, you know what? It is what it is. I got
That's
no
too funny
whatsoever, bro.
That is too freaking funny.
Look, as long as you play Sweet Caroline, I got that one on point. Sweet Caroline. Ba, ba, ba. That's a simple one.
That's funny.
Nate says he's putting money aside for an engagement. You don't know what I'm putting money aside for, Mom? I might be investing in like a Corvette or something, bro. I need to get a new car, bro. I can't wait. I gotta go through so much crap to get it because since I was doing like self-employed stuff and didn't make a whole lot last year, I didn't have to file for taxes, so I didn't. And then, so now I have to wait for next year, or I can work for my dad for a month and have them write me up check stubs for working, and then I can go and get approved for a loan. So I'm trying to weigh my options.
I'm telling you, the way I got my car will get you your car quicker than that. We'll talk about it.
I gotta wait too. It might be the same way. I just don't want to say it out on here.
And it's all legal. It's all legal.
Oh yeah.
All legal.
Let's see. ECG said play everything, primarily singer and guitarist, songwriting, but I know my way around. Oh man, that's sick, man. That's so sick.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
My buddy, Nate said I got to go later. Peace out, Nate. Appreciate you stopping by, brother. We'll talk to you soon, and I'll hit you up. You'll be the first person I message as soon as I get it set.
Yeah, about the draft. Yeah.
We're probably gonna use a different. I think we'll probably use a different. What's it called? Website last year, this year, especially since last year it had all that BS that happened. So we'll figure it out, but I'll let you know. But that's cool, Dante. Man, telling you, I worked around with, because I've worked with some art, like high school artists and stuff like that. Whenever Austin, we used to film their music videos and stuff like that. And then one of my good friends, he does music on like Spotify and stuff like that. And his like studio is just like he sings like really like vibey music and stuff like that. So his like studio is just like in his room is just like so nice and decorative and stuff like that. Like there's a whole different energy. Like I don't use that word vibe that often, but when you walk in, you're like, okay, this is a vibe. Like I see how you can make that. Nate said, any sleepers? Nate, why would I tell you my sleepers, man? You want to be honest with me, Nate? Want me to be honest with you, Nate? I haven't even looked into it, man. Like my
Have a good night, ECG. Thanks for stopping by, brother.
We normally have my family league, and nobody's doing it or I haven't heard from anybody this year, and so I don't even think we're doing it. So I haven't looked at anything fantasy football. So I got to look around.
Yeah, I haven't looked at anything either.
We're gonna roll with the punches.
I was reading what he said.
Yeah. Okay, gone. All right, peace out, Nate. And that's gonna be us too. We're gonna go ahead and use the sleeper app. Oh, the sleeper app. Yeah, possibly. I've heard good things about that. Maybe that is one that we can use. I have heard good things about it. I'll keep that in mind, Nate. I'll look that up. I'll write it down after we're done here. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and roll on out of here. Nan, do you have anything else you'd like to say?
No, just appreciate it, everybody. Thank you for all the support on the channel, even though we haven't been super active recently. But thanks for the support, and once again for the 100K on the Bathurst video. I think that's pretty dope, and it's definitely appreciative of everything that you guys have brought to this channel and to me and Zach. So thank you for all that.
Thanks.
And the support.
All right, guys. We'll catch y'all next time. We'll see y'all next week for sure. Keep those post notifications turned on. That way you know when we're live. Up next, we'll have some videos dropping as well, and we'll see y'all then. Cheers.
Peace out.